Today we are going to start next concept of thermodynamics, enthalpies of physical transformations. In that, enthalpy of phase transition means state change, that is solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Again it comes gas to liquid, liquid to solid, solid to gas. These are the phase transitions, that means state change. In that, number one, enthalpy of fusion. Fusion means melt. Solid is converted into the liquid. The heat is evolved, heat is given out. That is nothing but the enthalpy change. Either fusion, vaporization, and sublimation. These are the three phase transition of enthalpies. In that, number one, enthalpy of fusion. It is represented by symbol delta fuse H. Means enthalpy change that occurs when 1 mole of solid is converted into liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. This condition must be required without change in temperature at constant pressure, because if temperature is changed, then solid is converted to liquid, again liquid is converted to the gas. This means the processes continue if the change in temperature is possible. Therefore, the word without change in temperature at constant pressure is must required. Enthalpy of fusion means it is enthalpy change that occurs when 1 mole of solid is converted into liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. For example, water is occur in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. H2 solid, that is ice, is converted into the H2 liquid. Delta fuse H, it requires plus 6.01 kilojoule energy. That means solid is converted into the liquid, it requires plus 6.01 kilojoule enthalpy. The reverse of fusion means solid is converted to liquid, again liquid is converted to solid. This process is called as freezing of solid. That means H2 liquid is converted into the H2 solid, that is freeze, formation of ice. Therefore, delta freeze H is equal to minus 6.01 kilojoule energy. That is reverse of fusion. Then this is called as enthalpy of fusion. Number two, enthalpy of vaporization. It is represented by symbol delta vaporization H. Vaporization means conversion of liquid to the gas. The definition, it is enthalpy change is accompanied by the vaporization of 1 mole of liquid, again without change in temperature at constant pressure, are called as enthalpy of vaporization. For example, H2 liquid is converted to the H2O gas, whereas delta vaporization H is requires plus 45.07 kilojoule per mole. Reverse of this vaporization is called as condensation. That means H2 gas is converted to the H2 liquid, that means delta HCON H, it requires minus 45.07 kilojoule per mole. That means through two enthalpies of phase transition. Enthalpy of fusion means solid is converted into the liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. This is enthalpy, it requires plus 6.01 kilojoule per mole. Reverse of fusion, it is freezing, therefore the value plus is get converted into the minus 6.01 kilojoule per mole. Enthalpy of vaporization means liquid is converted to the gas, means evaporation. Enthalpy change is accompanied by vaporization of 1 mole of liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. That means vaporization or conversion of 1 mole of liquid into the gas without change in temperature at constant pressure. It requires plus 45.07 kilojoule enthalpy. Reverse of vaporization is condensation, that is H2O gas is converted into the H2O liquid. It requires minus 45.07 kilojoule per mole. Number 3 phase transition, enthalpy of sublimation. It is represented by delta sublimation H. Means solid is directly converted to the gas. For example, camphor. Solid burn, it gets converted into the gas. It is the enthalpy change for the conversion of 1 mole of solid directly into vapor at constant temperature and pressure are called as enthalpy of sublimation. Solidचं डायरेक्ट कन्वर्जन गॅसमध्ये होतं. H2O solid is converted to the H2O gas. Delta sublimation H, it requires plus 51.08 kilojoule per mole energy. The enthalpy change is 51.08 kilojoule. That means 3 phase transitions. First, enthalpy of fusion means solid is converted to the liquid. It requires plus 6.01 kilojoule. Number 2, enthalpy of vaporization, liquid is converted to the gas, it requires plus 45.07 kilojoule per mole. And number 3, enthalpy of sublimation means solid is directly converted to the gas. That enthalpy change is nothing but 51.08 kilojoule per mole. All these three enthalpies indicates that solid is converted to the liquid, liquid is converted to the gas. These steps, and solid is directly connected to the gas. These two enthalpies, sum of fusion and vaporization is equal to some sublimation. That means sublimation is equal to a sum of enthalpies of fusion and enthalpy of vaporization. These two values are sum, then you would get sub delta H sublimation. 51.08, this enthalpy change is equal to sum of fusion and vaporization. These are the 3 phase transition. Number 1, enthalpy of fusion means the enthalpy change is accompanied by 1 mole of solid is converted into the liquid without change in temperature at constant pressure. Condition must be applied. It requires plus 6.01 kilojoule per mole. Number 2, enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy change is accompanied by vaporization of 1 mole of liquid into the gas, or liquid is converted into the gas, that is called as enthalpy of vaporization. It requires plus 45.07 kilojoule. And last one, enthalpy of sublimation. The enthalpy change is accompanied by conversion of 1 mole of solid is directly into the gas, are called as enthalpy of sublimation. It requires plus 51.08 kilojoule per mole. All these 3 phase transitions indicates that sublimation is equal to sum of fusion and vaporization. Then 51.08, this enthalpy is equal to 6.01 plus 45.07 kilojoule enthalpy.